Hey, NASDOG. December 31st, where you get the best dope on the markets. I am your host, your human technical analyst. AI will cannibalize everything, your job, your profit. Just like, well, how do you say that, you conspiracy theorist? Well, look what happened to floor traders. I think that's a good roadmap. Anyway, what are we looking at here? We're looking at S&Ps. This is the last day of the year. Okay. Oh, look at that big gap. Look at that big gap. That was Liberation Day. Okay. This was, what was it, May the 5th or something? April 7th. Oh, goodness gracious. Right down there, 4,900. It was like a big halfway. Anyway, so here, what are we going to talk about here? So, one thing I was thinking here, is this a year-end markup? Is this it? Is this the high? Okay, it doesn't really. You know what? We got look at those formations in there. Okay, we got a couple of these pink formations. We're gonna have to. You know what? There's gonna be some lines here. We can clear off. See, the problem is this is a weekly. If you put this in a daily, these trend lines might be here. Let's just do that for a second. Let me show you how CQG works. Yeah, look at that. Okay, see those lines on a weekly? Remember they were way up here. It looked like they're never going to get to them. And here, you actually hear this one that's snaking it up. That was one of them. That other one was over here, and so it might have been right where this high is. Anyway. Got some olive line sell territory in here. You got this green buy here, and we just leaked. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. 2, 3, 4, 4 down. And tomorrow's Friday. This is going to be real interesting here. Maybe we could possibly. This is small. This green holds 68.74 quarter, and you do something around here. If we were to make new highs, you got to be off the bet. You got to be off the bet. And do stocks go higher when the Fed starts? Well, you know what? Do you think the president should have anything to do with the Fed? Because I've been thinking about that here. Because first of all, we got a $38 trillion deficit. This is the NASDAQ. Okay, this is the NASDAQ here. You can see we made highs in October, okay? Remember how October is the weakest month? And anyway, we come down here. We come back to around this orange level here. And so we're right in this level here. We'll have to keep our eyes on it. I got 2 sets on there. Don't ask. It's not for here. But what else we got? Let's keep this all in stocks here. This is the Russell, okay? See, this is really... If you look at overseas markets, you look at Europe, and it's actually, you look at Europe, and this is just about the same kind of chart. Asia, we take off. Japan anyway. And then Germany, a little bit higher here. U.S. took off. And so we're starting, they're talking about getting away from the U.S. dollar, which actually was down 8% this year. That's just what I see advertised here. The biggest decline since, 2018. So this is the Russell here. Okay, I just re-put the here. From here, okay, here, this was an olive. This was on the same thing, April 7th. Okay, we could take that off. Take that off. Hang on a second. Remove. Okay. So just for one here, I just drew this trend line. This is a plain Jane trend line. Sometimes I'll do it in black. I've kind of been leaning this way in black. Sometimes in bean oil, they were coming off 2022, 2023 highs. Anyway, so the black right here today, okay, so tomorrow we'll be in another, well, this is a weekly, so this will be good for Friday, but 24.1470 here. Okay, here, this is where we close. So this goes in black too. So once in a while when they get close, it might be a little, but that's the way, that's just looking at the Russell. Okay, so we closed the year plus 736 in the Russell here. Let me just go ENQ because we can do this here since it's the last day of the year. The NASDAQ, is it still open? Oh, we're in the aftermarket. Well, we're in the aftermarket at 25,437. That's up 15.18%. Man, you know, okay. And if you're looking here, earlier this week, we went up to about plus 17%. Little bit over it there, and that was just about where it was capped off here. The last low being plus 13%. Okay, so that would be like right here, right in this area here. You know, just on the year, that's all going to change. That's all going to change. Watch this low right here, 2331-ish in the Russell. Okay, so I was listening to fake news Bloomberg, and they seem to be quoting this 2018 here. Okay, this is an annual chart here. This right here is the worst year since this right here. Okay, so you know it's just you know, not these. What is this? Back in 2000, and then this is back in 1984. Okay. This is kind of, you know what? This is kind of like when the euro came along, and that was later. When was that? 1990? Okay. So I just drew this trend line, and what I did is I did an alarm here. So this right now the number's at 1022. Okay, so next year it's going to be in a different one. But this is an annual trend line here. I'll show you here. Okay, and this is what I'm going to do. Page 1, it's on my page 1, up here, page 1. Not my normal dollar candle trend line. The bottom of the buying. Okay, so we'll see that. You know, that'll be an interesting. That's first time. And I wouldn't even, you know, that. But that's for that player, you know, and that would be, so that's about 200 higher, 250 higher than right here. Okay. Oops. Whoa. Okay, we're just looking here at the shape here. This is the US dollar here. Again, different type of chart. Okay, a little bit here. So you can see here, we go back to 21 here. As a matter of fact, let's stick 20 in there. Let's stick here. This is the pandemic, the scamdemic, the bio war. And then we shot up to the olive up there at 112, 113. Okay, and then look at this. We came back, and this year we came up to this 109. That's right. I remember that. In one of the spot contracts, the guy said he had to stop at 110 even. I'm like, oh, man. We went up to like 110.06 or something like that. You know, you want to use your stop on the other side of the big handles, you know, because there's option plays for reasons like that. Well, why don't we just keep going on the financials here? Here's the bonds. Okay, this is a weekly chart in bonds, or I'm sorry, this is a monthly chart in bonds. You know what? This is about all I want to show here on the bonds here. You know, this is so what Legacy is saying that listen, things might be different this time, but they're saying if you cut short rates, it fuels inflation. Okay, so we'll see here. Trump makes a case that we're going to grow faster. Okay, the same thing with that Mirren guy from the Fed. He's got the same, because AI, because there's different things here. Plus, we have a $38 trillion deficit. Okay, and we're getting to the point of no return. So we'll see how that goes. But here, I got one. This is a halfway or something here. You know, this has got to be something big, actually. This might be from top to bottom here. Let's go see this. Yeah, look at this, 1981 to 2020. Okay, right here. It's the low here, 115.15. Oh, I'm sorry, it's 114.18. Okay, it's a point lower. Okay, so those are 30-year bonds. What else I got here? Oh yeah, what happened to this guy? This is Ripple here. I have no comment. I'm just charting that for a guy here. We're just looking. What was this? Oh, this was Bitcoin. This was Bitcoin. This had an olive line here. Don't ask me here. We're not going to talk about Bitcoin. I don't want to talk about Bitcoin. So we'll leave it off here. So this is the Russell again here, you know. So you're just not making highs, and this is really, you know, this is small America. This is 70% of the businesses, you know, and so we'll see how this goes here, you know, because we're at records. We're at record. We're at price book. We're at, you know, trailing price book. I get guys, you know, old men that tell me that I have a lot more history than I do. And so we'll see how this shakes out. If you need something, email me. If you're that guy, I'm your guy. Meaning, you know, you're a player here where you're swinging around, whatever it is, man. You swing around 10s and 20s. I sure can put the levels in front of you. So email me, arp@nasdog.com. Let's see here. Trader rule, adage, or excuse. I didn't know a report was coming out. Actually, that's the sub rule. The only reason I lost, or as I am losing, is because I have a good excuse. I didn't know a report was coming out. Thanks for watching. Happy New Year. Always use a risk stop to stop the risk. And listen, you know, you look in silver here. I'm going to do a silver here next, but you know, silver goes to a couple bucks in the aftermarket. In the aftermarket, okay? Or the curb market, the one that when I was down there, that they put guys in jail for trading the curb market minutes after the bell rang, okay? All of a sudden it became something illegal. Although we got illegals siphoning billions, the Somalis in Minnesota. Have a nice day.